What up, guys? So you've been working during lockdown on some really awesome music and it's ready to be sent out to record labels. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 strategies that you can use to send your music to record labels and to have a better success rate when you're doing that. All right, guys, let's get to it. So you're wondering, like, why should I trust this guy? Well, to be honest, I've been making music for 10 years. I've been sending demos for about 7 years. I used to be a record label owner. I used to be A&R for multiple record labels. So all the knowledge that I'm going to tell you today is based on that experience, and hopefully it's going to help you be more successful in sending your music out there. If you're new to my channel, music should be simple, and this is what my channel is all about. All right, guys, let's get to it. Okay, number 1. Social media. You want to make sure that your social media is uniform throughout like all your social media channels. If you have Instagram, like Facebook, Bandcamp, or like whatever you're doing as an artist, you want to make sure that that all looks the same. So for instance, for me, my branding, it's really important, and it has to do with my Guatemalan heritage and what elements of my music come from Guatemala, right? And that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. So that's part of like my social media. And the other cool thing that I try to do is like, if I'm interested in like different record labels and like whatnot, I try to like share, comment. When I'm doing charts on Beatport, I want to make sure that I'm bringing some of the releases into like my charts just to make sure that they're feeling the love from me. I was reading in a book that it takes about like 7 touches for people to start noticing you. So I think that that still applies. You're selling yourself as an artist, so you want to make sure that you have that engagement going on. You don't know who's looking in social media. The same A&R might be the person who's posting in social media or liking and commenting. Kind of like make a list of what names are usually liking and commenting on posts for like the record labels, and maybe try to interact with them. I think that's a good way to get yourself noticed. It's a good way to support the record label that you want to be a part of. Number 2, this one I call sound research. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your tracks, the ones that you already have finished, and then you're going to send them out to your DJ friends, music producer friends. If you're just starting and you don't really know where to go, you should probably go on Reddit or maybe Facebook groups. I don't know if Soundcloud still has groups. They used to. Try to like talk to a couple of people, try to get feedback from them, ask them, what does my music sound like and what record label do you think it will fit in? The other thing is that it's going to like break that mental barrier that you might have, because when we're writing music, when we're making music, we think that we're writing hits and that every record label should just like sign us, but record labels are actually looking for a certain like sound palettes in music production. So that is something that you have to look into. So then you're gonna have what you think your music sounds like, what other people think about your music and what it sounds like, and then that's going to like click, and you're actually going to research based on that. You're gonna go and check out the different artists in their catalog, and then maybe you're gonna touch base with them on social media, like try to ask for feedback from them. Sometimes if they're not too busy, they'll give you proper feedback. So for me, I have a group of friends that I send my music to. Casta is one of them. Mariano Santolino is one of them. Jonas Temple is one of them. Ryan Mack from the UK. And I ask them, like, what does it sound like? Like, they all give me feedback. And then that gives me a good idea on, like, what doors I should be knocking on. Tip number 3, links, right? I want to make sure that you're making it as easy as possible for the A&R to get your music. SoundCloud or Dropbox, and make sure that you send the link to the tracks. If you're sending it through SoundCloud, make sure that the link for download is available for the track. I think it's really important, because what happens is that A&Rs are going to get the music, and then they're going to download the tracks that they like, and then they're going to like send a folder to the record label owner, and then they're going to be able to play it out if they're DJs, or listen to them in the house, or whatever they're like, however they like to decide what music is going to be released in their record label. So if you're making electronic music, the first 32 bars are just the intro of the track for DJs to play. So make sure that you're sending the track where the heavy stuff starts, right? It just makes it easier for everybody. You have like one chance to blow their mind, so make sure that it's correct, right? It's like at the right point of the track. The other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't send the same link to 20 other record labels that you're interested in, because labels like exclusivity. They want to make sure that the track that they're receiving, they kind of like have dibs on it if it's like an amazing track, and they want to make sure that they're the ones that get it first, right? That doesn't mean that you have to send your track only to like one record label. Like for instance, like if your holy grail is Defected Records, send it to them. But if they don't like write back, don't sleep on it. Send it to some other labels just to make sure that like, everybody's getting a chance to listen to your music. But upload the track and get another link. Okay, it's really important. It shows that, you're sending the track only to them, right? The other like mistake that I saw, and it was just like mind-boggling, was when I would get an email with all the other like 20 record labels as emails saying that they have a release for me, right? It was pretty crazy because some of those record labels didn't even play the music that they were sending their demos on. And so to me, it was just like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? That's an instant no. So just remember, right? Like A&Rs or record label owners get like 20, 25 emails a day, and then they go through them, and then they're going to like pick the best tracks, and then they all get together, then they listen to the tracks, and then they pick the ones that are going to be released in their record label. They're not going to steal your music, and even if they do, you have all the files in your computer, and you're able to like get them back and get your royalties back if that's something that like you're worried about. Tip number 4. All right, this one's really interesting, right? Going back to that one chance that you have in the like showing like your work the best way possible. Just as I like told you guys to like send like the best part of the track in your link, the same idea goes to like sending in the music mixed and mastered, like first impressions. Remember that, right? If you're gonna meet your like girlfriend's parents or your boyfriend's parents, like you want to make a good first impression, because if that, it counts a lot, right? If you're going to go for like an interview or like whatever, first impressions count. And it's the same with your music, right? Again, if A&Rs receive like 25 emails a day and then randomly they pick yours, you want to make sure that you blow them away. I cannot like say this enough, mixed and mastered. I've been getting this question a lot through my channel. What's important to you? If you're a songwriter, right? Maybe get a demo going just to like showcase your song. It doesn't mean that you're going to like need to have like a fully structured song, but just make sure that it's something that sounds good so they get the idea of the song. If you're a hip hop artist, the same idea, right? If you're like rapping on top of a beat, make sure that everything sounds good, so they get an idea of like the type of music that you're interested in as an artist as well. If you're an electronic music producer, man, you have to be like mixed and mastered, because they might want to like take your track to a club and like test it out. There's a Isotope Molecule. That one has like a visual mixer, so like you put a couple of plugins in and it mixes it down for you. And then you might want to like send it out to a mastering engineer, so you can send it to Lander and then you can master it right there. That's going to make the difference if they want your track, if they want to release it, versus sending that first impression where like they open up your email and like they're like, this is crap. They just like go, like they won't even download your music. Other questions that I've been getting is like, should I send my like Spotify link for my music? I would say no, because again, they want exclusivity. If you have something that's already released, it doesn't even matter, right, to them, because it's already been released. Unless you're like one of those like classic hits that they want to like buy the rights to, that's not gonna work. So send private links with your music. So tip number 5, the structure of the email that you're going to send your demos with, it's really important, because it's going to capture people's attentions once they're going through their inbox, right? So you want to make sure that you have demo submission, then you have the track name and the type of music that you're sending over. Okay, so they have an idea. Okay, so we make, tropical house, right? But this guy is sending techno. They're gonna like scratch it because they don't play that music. But someone like, for instance, like Defected Records, that they have like, I think it's like 5 or 7 different record labels. Tropical House might work for another label that they have, right? So they might send it over to that A&R. So that's why it's like really important, like the subject line has to like be really descriptive so they don't waste time. And they might help you get your music to the person that needs to get it. So write it really professional, kind of like, hey, like Two Room Records or Two Room A&R, Two Room like crew. My name is Mayen, and I have like this couple of tracks that I think that will fit really good in your label. I really like what you guys are doing and all this other stuff. And then from there, you're gonna add the links to your different tracks, right? So obviously you want to start with like your best track first, second track, and then your third track. You don't want to send like 25 tracks because they're not going to listen to them. So just try to like send the first, the best 3 of the bunch that you have picked. And then, You know, at the bottom, you might want to write a little bit about you as an artist and everything, and all your social media links, so they want to go and like check that out. Keep it super simple, super basic, because time is money. So after 10 years of doing this, I think that those are like the best methods that I have come up with to like send demos and have better success rate. So if you enjoyed this video, here are some other videos about music production and how simple it is to make music. And if you enjoyed my channel, hit the bell, click subscribe so you can get more videos. All right, guys, enjoy the 4th of July.